Ba-ba-da-da, Banjo Ben, here at my home, which happens to be your home, away from your home, banjobenclark.com. This is where you come to learn how to pick on the guitar, or maybe the mandolin, or maybe even the wretched banjo over there in the corner. Don't look at it. It doesn't need any more attention. Today we're going to look at a fiddle tune that I actually did last week on the mandolin, and I liked it so much I thought, well, let's do it on guitar. So we're going to do Billy in the Lowground. Check it out. Alright, that was my dose versions of Billy in the Lowground. Got a basic version there for those of you who are just looking to learn how to play, or maybe are not familiar with that particular fiddle tune. And then I gave you an advanced version which has got all kinds of snazzy little triplets and slides and cross picking and all that good stuff. So I invite you, if you're watching here on YouTube, to here in a little while I'll ask you to go over to my website, banjobenclark.com, where you can join as a Gold Pick member, be part of the Cool Club, and get full access to all these videos. I put out like a 30-minute video lesson and tab every week on all 3 instruments. Each week I rotate instruments. I'm about to fall off my stool. Anyway, also, if you're watching this on the website, go over to the guitar tab section and print out either the basic Billy in the Lowground or the advanced Billy in the Lowground, because what we're about to do is jump in, learn how to play each and every single note that you just heard. I'll explain to you how to play it. We'll show it close up, and then I'm going to play through both versions. I play through them very slowly, okay? And then you have the tab there to learn with, and then I've got 3 different speeds of backup rhythm tracks, okay, videos, so you can practice along with me as I play you beautiful rhythm. That is so beautiful. Anyway, let's look at first this basic version of Billy in the Lowground. We're going to kick off the A part there with 3 quarter notes. As most of you know, these fiddle tunes have an A part and a B part. An A part is typically 8 measures long, and then you'll repeat that A part again to make a total of 16 measures. Then you'll go into a B part section, and a single B part's usually 8 measures. Then you repeat that B part again to make another 16. So the whole song, or the whole break, solo for each instrument will usually be 32 bars. There are, of course, exceptions to that, but this one follows that formula. We're going to start off with a little kickoff. This isn't part of the 32 measures here. This is just leading in. If somebody says, hey, Ben, kick off a guitar break to Billy in the Lowground, this is be how I do it. I want you to pay attention to your pick direction, okay? I put those little arrows beneath each note for a reason. So we're going to pay attention to that and keep up with that. But that first measure is really easy. We're just going to start on that low E string there on the 3rd fret with a down stroke, then an open A string, then a 2nd fret on that low A string there, okay? Then we're going to get into the melody of this song in measure 2, and we're going to start playing a lot of 8th notes, okay? So these 8th notes are notes that are tied together there. They get half a beat apiece. 2 of them together makes 1 beat. Okay, since we have 4 beats in each measure, we have 8 eighth notes in each measure. or we can have different combinations. But a lot of these measures will have 8 eighth notes in them. And the reason why I spent the time telling you that is because we're going to use a downstroke on the first one of each pair, okay, which means on the downbeat, and we're going to use an upstroke on the second one. So slowly that measure sounds like this. Pretty simple there. We're just going to base this out of a C chord position. So if you can make a C chord, you got it made. We're going to start there with our ring finger on that 3rd fret. Down, up, down, move to the D string. Up, down, up on the G string, down, up on the open B string. Measure 3, we're going to rest on this 1st fret of the B string, which is a C note. It's our root note. And you see the stem there beneath that is not tied to anything. That's a quarter note. It's going to get one beat all by itself, a down beat, and we're going to stay on it for a whole beat. So that whole measure there sounds like this. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so we camp out there for that whole first beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now measure 4, we're going to an A minor chord, so whoever's playing rhythm is going to be playing an A minor chord over this. So we're going to play a lick, a scale, that follows a melody that is good over an A minor chord. And this, we're going to use the snot out of our middle finger here. We're going to have it hopping all around. This will really get your fingers working for those of you that are just starting to learn to play this song, or maybe just starting on guitar. But there's a little pattern that we're going to follow. Measure 4 sounds like this. Okay, so we're going to start on a downstroke, open with an up, move down to our D string, down, up, down, up, down, up. Measure 5, we're going to move on kind of with that same idea. It's not exactly identical. Down, up, down, up. We'll do something a little different here. Start with our ring finger. Down, up, down, up. Okay, so I'm going to play that measure 5 for you slowly. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Yeah, so we're halfway through a single A part. We're through 4 measures. So we're almost through with one of these A parts. Measure 6 there looks exactly like measure 2. So we don't have to cover it. Matter of fact, measure 7 looks exactly like measure 3. And then we're going to land on measure 8, which is a little different. We're wrapping up our first A part. Measure 8 sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Play that with me. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then let's wrap it up here in measure 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we do a big strum on the last beat of that measure 9. And that's the end of the 8 bars of our first time through the A part. And that's good because in this particular version, we don't do it this way in the advanced version. But in the basic version, we're going to start back out in measure 10 and play it those 8 measures exactly the same way again, okay? And you have that choice when you're playing fiddle tunes of whether to just repeat that A part again, because the melody is the same. As I mentioned, we're repeating it. Or you can play something a little different or combine some licks that you might get from a bag of licks lesson. But that's one time through the A part. Let's now look at what the B part looks like, where the melody changes and our chord progression changes as well.